Aww, isn't that the cutest thing you've ever seen? It is rare, it is very rare that I get the opportunity to watch an anime when I have previously read the manga for it. Mostly, this is because I don't read much manga. My moral boundaries as far as purchasing anime and manga legally makes the act of reading lots of manga quite expensive. So I've just been able to keep myself from getting it most times, or getting into it. But with Sweetness and Lightning, I ended up reading that a while back, and I don't actually remember why. I think perhaps I found it while looking up possible recommendations for those who enjoyed reading Yotsuba, like I did, but either way, I read the manga, and I enjoyed the crap out of it. And now it's been adapted, so what is it about? Well, it's this heart and stomach-warming tale about a young teacher, Kohei Izuka, who 6 months previously lost his wife to circumstances that, understandably, he never actually mentions to anyone. This, however, has left him attempting to care for their daughter, Tsumugi, on his own. And while he does his best to care for her as a father due to time constraints with his work, one of the areas that he's never been able to properly care for her is with food. Instead, he is forced to rely heavily on pre-made or instant meals. This changes after they meet a young girl named Kotori, whose mother runs a restaurant in town. She gives them a business card after Tsumugi seems to salivate over her mother's cooking, and later that night, the father-daughter pair show up at the restaurant with hopes that Tsumugi can get a proper meal. Unfortunately, they are not the only family with problems, and Kotori's mother spends much of her time away from home for work, leaving the restaurant closed. But in the first episode, Kotori's determination leads her to cook some perfect pot rice for Tsumugi, who heartily gulps it down. So what this series is a combination of two family stories that both come together that fill in some gaps of each of their lives. Kohei and Tsumugi need food and a place to make it properly, and Kotori needs people to fill that gap in the family that her mother unfortunately leaves absent while at work. In that regard, it's a wonderfully light tale about how they interact and also what they cook. Most of the stories are made of two parts. The first being the plot line about how these characters attempt to live their lives, and the second plot line is at the restaurant, about how to make some new kind of dish. The manga, if I recall correctly, was able to add to this by actually having the recipes available after every chapter, but the anime still makes up for that by having the food look amazing. Like, it's not Food Wars or anything, and the focus on the food isn't anywhere near as heavy as in that series, but it is still there, and it still looks absolutely beautiful. So do yourself a favor and eat before watching any of this show. Also, don't eat any of your own cooking while watching the show so that you don't inadvertently compare your cooking to their awesomely cooked meals and, you know, your sad plate of craft dinner, or maybe that's just me. Either way, this series fills in the gap for me that other shows, like calm shows left behind, like last season's Flying Witch. Because this too is a calmer series that allows you to slow down and chill out before jumping into more intense shows of the season. Now, as far as what I expect from the rest of the series, well, more food and more cute Tsumugi moments. I'm like slightly worried as to how they might end the series though, because the manga is still ongoing and I'm not entirely sure how they're going to wrap everything up in just 13 episodes, which I think is how many we're getting. Could be wrong on that, but I'll be interested to see what they do, and it might be good, might not. But if it isn't, I'll be sure to tell you with the review, unless, you know, I'm still in a lot of withdrawal from the series. That might happen. And so, is Sweetness and Lightning worth your time? Well, I know that I am biased, and I also know that not a lot of people hold the same taste in anime as I do, but I would say yes. It's a nice, light, and cheerful show that can shine through the darkness. And even if the ending becomes less than stellar, I still feel like the rest of it should make up for that. Possibly. Hopefully. Despite being unlicensed at present, you can watch the series over on Crunchyroll. If you happen to have access to it, there's a link in the description for a premium service free trial, as per usual, should you require it. And what did you guys think? Let me know down in the Watchamajigs. And for those of you who are further along in the manga or watching from the far future, no spoilers, please. Thank you for joining me on this first reaction. If you like this sort of thing, please hit the like button to let me know. And if you have a suggestion for what else is airing this season that you would like me to talk about, let me know down in the comments, though chances are I'm doing it anyway. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, and others, stay frosty.